Hey guys, what's up? This is James here at Unique Perspectives. I thought I'd make another video. I actually wanted to address a topic that I've been thinking about for a while, and what really inspired it was this past weekend I was actually leaving the movie theater, seeing the Mufasa film in theaters, and I do have Disney Plus. I pay for Disney Plus once a year, so I have it for the rest of the year, and just one lump sum. And I thought about holding out on watching the film because it's just eventually going to go to Disney Plus anyway, and I'll have access to it anyway. But I was like, you know what, let me go investigate the theater experience. So I did that and I really enjoyed it. So not making this video about Mufasa, but I did enjoy it. So if you like Lion King's story and that whole universe, I think you're going to enjoy that. But the reason why I'm making this is because I was going into the theater and even coming out, and I was thinking to myself that between going to work, going to church, having my online friends that I communicate with, and then the friends that I have, live and in person that I communicate with regularly, I text regularly, I go to lunch with, regularly, I have some type of schedule with them, and the video games that I have access to, the hard drive of all these games that I'm buying online, and they're stored in my hard drive and I have access to. I mean, some of them are on disk, some of them are cartridges, but a lot of them are on hard drives. So I can just pick up my Switch or turn on my PlayStation 5 and I have access to quite a bit of games, a decent library. And some of these games are just, they're amazing games that are tailor fitted for my interests that I will invest in. Same thing with the streaming services. I have Disney Plus. I also have Hulu, which I think they somehow combined with one another now because I guess Disney already owns Hulu, and if you have it, it just kind of combines or something like that. It's weird, but I have Disney, I have Hulu. Tubi is free, Tubi. Please check that out. Absolutely free. But then, you have Netflix. I have Netflix. I have Amazon Prime as well. I feel like I'm like one of those crazy people that have everything. And then there's YouTube, which YouTube just, there's so many people on YouTube doing just about everything. Like anything that you want is on YouTube. Anything. Like there are times when I was looking for a certain, there were times when I was looking for a certain way to prepare a certain meal. I don't know, maybe guacamole, maybe to make spaghetti, maybe to, make my burgers a certain way or grill. Like I would go on YouTube and everything's there. Like I even took my engine apart about almost 3 years ago because of YouTube, like I needed to repair something and fix something, and I was able to do that with YouTube. And my point is, there are so many tools that exist today that it's almost like if a person didn't want to pursue a romantic relationship, and especially for us guys, like there are so many things that we can do to distract us that you almost don't desire the romantic endeavors like you could. Now, I think every man in his right mind, including myself, desires companionship. I think that if we come across a woman that is attractive, inside and out, physically attractive, she actually is somebody that is interested in us, our personality, our character. For me, I'm a Christian man, so I would have to consider a woman who loves the Lord, and not somebody who just says it, but somebody who actually demonstrates that she's moving towards the Lord. She doesn't have to be perfect, but there has to be actions that demonstrate she's not off and on with her walk with the Lord. Like she's reading God's word. She's interested in a man who loves God, who has biblical integrity, those type of things. But my point is, I think most guys, of course, desire companionship. I think there are a lot of men that want that, but have accepted that that's not available, that that's not going to happen. That when we were watching these romantic comedies or watching these stories of our heroes, whether it's, I don't know, just a lot of these stories that we grew up when, where there was this strong masculine male character who cared for his household or his family, and he was a superhero. And, there was a lady that came and she inspired him to want to be better. I think that there are a lot of guys that desire that, but I think there are a lot of guys that realize that that's not going to happen for them. We look at the dating apps situation, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but there are a lot of studies that show that most women are declining most guys. They find that most men are unattractive. And for a lot of guys, they're doing the opposite. They don't get, they would have to, I think, if I remember correctly, I don't know if the statistic is right, but if I remember correctly, a guy would have to swipe, I think it's 400 times. I think it's 400 times to get a match. And even then, that doesn't prove that the woman would, but if I remember correctly, a man would have to, swipe right. I think a guy would have to swipe right, if I remember correctly, about 400 times. I don't know if it was 200 times or 400 times to get a match. And even with getting a match doesn't necessarily, it's not like a guarantee that this person is real or this person is actually going to be receptive. There are plenty of people that unmatch, they decide, and so there's these discrepancies for a lot of guys that it's like they don't deal with the dating apps. They don't, they're not meeting ladies out in public because there are a lot of women that are developing unrealistic expectations. And then you have like some guys like myself, you will watch some of the ladies that are in relationships and you observe that they're not really choosing men based on the man is a good father or shows the traits of a good husband or he shows competency. It's almost like these vain things. Like, I know this guy will be here because he's lonely and I'm the only woman entertaining him. So I will settle for this guy because I've already had my fun. And now I'll deal with this guy right now because I know he's not going to go anywhere. No, I don't like him that much, but I'll be with him because he's here. I guess a lot of people would consider this settling. And so for a guy like myself, I'm looking at this dating dynamic and I think to myself, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that. I want a nice, peaceful life, a quiet life. And I have so many tools that can distract me. And I'm one of those people that I like to also, go walking, for an hour or two on my days off. I'm just starting jump roping again, working out. And it's not so I can go show off for some woman. This is for myself. But I think to myself, we're in a time period now where it's very easy to, I don't know if I'm going to call it distractions, but there's so many things to do now that it's easier to manage life without actually wanting to invest time in looking for relationships and things like that. It's very easy now. Between the streaming services and my friends that I can connect with, and some of them might be dealing with somebody romantically, but there are many that aren't. I have access to all sorts of different tools, video games. Like I said, there's some video games that I'm thinking about right now. There's Resident Evil 9. There's a rumor of Resident Evil 9 coming out for the PS5 and other consoles. There's Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm not a Grand Theft Auto fan, but those games typically are very massive, very big, and there's so much to discover. The storylines, there's so many different voice actors that they hire for games like this, so it makes it very interesting to get immersed into the story. So I'm not necessarily saying that marriage is bad. I'm not saying that relationships are bad. I'm not saying that because I'm a Christian. I believe that marriage is a beautiful thing. I think it's one of the most beautiful things and the greatest things God has created other than life itself. I think right after creating life, I think the marriage covenant is very beautiful. But I also am a realist. I think that there are a lot of men and maybe women, but there are a lot of men that they don't necessarily develop the same desires like they did before, because you kind of look around and you say, oh, I don't really like the dynamic of what's going on. I don't want to be a part of this. I want to still be a part of society. I still want to be productive. I still want to be a loving, caring individual. I still want to be a part of society, but I don't necessarily have to be a part of it to that capacity when it comes to marriage. And again, I'm not against marriage. I could find somebody and, connect with me and, maybe I will get married. I don't know. But I'm just saying that with all the tools that we have today, that we have access to, especially when you have a car, when you have an income, you can go take yourself places. You can do things for yourself. You can buy things for yourself. I'm planning on maybe in a year replacing my motorcycle. It's like that. It's just, we have a lot of things that we can do. And I'm not discouraging relationships. I'm just saying that there are a lot of guys that I can understand why they may not want to entertain that anymore, because maybe once upon a time that was an idea, and then as they observe life and they see what's going on, they're discouraged. And I'm not really into the guys that, I don't really support the guys that, pull away from the relationship stuff, but they will like badmouth women and relationships and marriage. I don't support that. But I do support men that say, hey, you know what? I don't really like what's going on. I'm going to pull away and do my own thing. But good luck to everyone. And I love you guys, and continue to have your children, buy your property, invest in your retirements, and do all the things that an adult should be doing, or, works best for you. But I do think that we should also respect that there's a community of people, and I'm specifically talking about men, where we don't like what we see. We don't like our options in regards to, if we wanted to invest in a relationship, what would or whom we would have access to. And I can understand why some guys are better off just kind of like, oh, I'll leave it alone. So just wanted to share that. But yeah, I'm just kind of rambling today. I am just now getting back to starting my YouTube channel with larger videos. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe some of you guys understand where I was trying to go in this video. Others, you know, maybe you clicked off and you don't know what the heck I'm talking about. But yeah, God bless you guys. Take care. Peace. And if you have any comments, please below, engage. Let me hear what you have to say. I would love to hear what you have to say. Take care and God bless you guys. Peace.